What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what really drove it higher, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, Lucid did close 10.49% in the green. A fair amount of volume as well, so 36.5 million shares being traded, 40.04 is the average. You did see a lot of institutions paying attention to it today, so these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. Night and day difference from a normal day for Lucid that has roughly about 4 or 5 transactions. So it goes to show that big money is seeing something with Lucid. And there is quite a lot to talk on today that really influenced the stock price. So one of which I'm going to start off is with the FOMC meeting minutes. So that did come out near the tail end of the day. So that's what kind of drove the market higher. So Powell did say some concerning things associated to kind of regional banks and whatever else, and more of a underlying fear, but at the same time there was a consensus that there should have been a cut in July. So kind of all in all, I think that is now a very strong indication that there will be at least a 50 basis point cut for the September 18th meeting. This doesn't really represent that yet. It did go up slightly, so went from around 22 to now 38%, but there is right now a 38.5% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut for the September 18th meeting. And that is followed by a potential another 25 basis point cut for the November 7th meeting. So I think in general, once the market does truly believe that and prices that into the market, this is where a lot of growth stocks such as Lucid will go up dramatically. So in reality, I think that's going to be a good thing for the next couple of days. We just have to wait and see what initial jobless claims comes out with tomorrow, followed by Powell on Friday as well. So that's one thing that really shook the broader market. There was no actual news today associated to Lucid. There was a amended 13D and also a Form 4 that was submitted after hours yesterday. Both basically say the same thing, and it is right here. So the PIF, we already do know that they did get more preferred stock. So Series B preferred stock, 75,000 shares, transaction code P, meaning purchase. So what this is kind of known stuff, like I said, so this is just more of a formality. This, I think, is a good thing, shows the commitment of the PIF and its affiliates to Lucid, bigger picture. So this is one thing. I don't really see this being a reason to buy Lucid nor sell. Just wanted to obviously bring this up. There was a couple of things. So under Lucid's Twitter and various other socials, they did post this. So it does look like they are getting ready for homologation for the Gravity. So that's going to be the testing and her crash tests, which is kind of sad to think about it, that these very expensive vehicles, even aside from Lucid, have to get like completely blown up, not blown up, but you guys get what I'm saying, just destroyed for, I don't know. It's an unfortunate thing. But no matter what though, this is necessary for kind of just mass production. So I think generally this is a good thing and kind of in line with exactly what Peter did say. So near the tail end of August is when they're going to be testing. I believe they said they have around 80 prototypes that is created at that time. So a lot of that is going to be used for crash testing. So again, that's something that is kind of indicating that the Gravity is on schedule. Aside from that though, Peter did have a interview, very small snippet, and it's weird. The only place I see this posted, oddly, is under a Tesla bull. So obviously they're trying to point out some negatives of this, but Lucid did do some jabs at Tesla, so I think that's generally good. I'll play this. It's only 55 seconds. I'll try and find to see if there is a full interview or maybe if this 55 seconds was basically it. But I'll kind of go over this and yeah, let me know your thoughts if you've already heard this and what you kind of took away from it.
To a capacity of in the process of completing the build out of our factory in Arizona to a capacity of 90,000 units per annum. We're on track for manufacturing around 9,000 Lucid Airs this year. Gravity's going to come in, and our finances are dominated by scale. It's all scale, scale, scale. And this is a big step in that scale. Clearly we have the best technology in the world. We've now taken the mantle from Tesla. We have the best tech, and that is being widely recognized.
Right, so you'd say that Lucid has surpassed Tesla in terms of technology.
Oh yes, absolutely. We've taken the mantle, without a doubt. I mean, everyone is striving for how far can you go with how little battery space. We are considerably ahead of where Tesla is. We've taken that mantle. When I was at Tesla, Tesla was the tech leader. They've become distracted, and we have taken that place.
So yeah, ultimately, I like this new form of Peter. He's very confident in speaking, and he's doing a lot more of these kind of interviews and whatever else. Clearly, you can tell it was cut, so there is a full version out there somewhere. I'll try to locate that and maybe kind of show it on a later video. But again, I really, this new confidence of Peter shows that the Gravity is going to be a big success, and the whole tech race that he's often talked on and people call as a salesman pitch or whatever, I think that's going to be one of the biggest defining factors of Lucid. So let me know your thoughts on that, and if so, if you did see this full thing, where it is located. Kind of curious on that. But getting right to it, a lot of that was influencing the actual price today as well. You did see shorts finally giving up. I've been saying that they've been overextended over this last little bit. They did increase yesterday. They were trying to really suppress Lucid on a technical level, but clearly it didn't really work all that well. Today, they did return 3.7 million shares. 27.43% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 246.14 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization 96.45. Short score is 87.41, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And through IBKR, it does indicate in excess of 10 million shares. So you can kind of see some entity did buy in on Lucid first thing. So it went from roughly around 1 million to in excess of 10 million. So that does go to show that there was some big entity buying for the purposes of lending out shares. So most likely it's either BlackRock or Vanguard, but that's just me speculating. We'll just have to wait and see what the new 13F does indicate. Moving over to options, 1.42 million in calls, 1.01 million in puts. So kind of dollar value was rather low today. 53% of all the options being done today were bearish, so not necessarily the best, but of the call options that were purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above $4. And like I've kind of pointed out in the past, you can kind of see what is shorts hedging and what isn't, because by the closest strike price. So anything aside from that closest strike price, like for instance, all right here, that is true optimism. So there is a lot more optimism for Lucid to break out above $4. And this is kind of the puts. So a lot of consensus for it to be sub roughly between 350 and 3. So still, in my opinion, a lot more upside is anticipated. Right now, though, with it closing at $3.58, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 414 will be that next strong target / resistance, and then 348 will be that next strong support that you want to watch for it to hold. And on the actual chart itself, so it is successfully, in fact, in that higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. Actually, what I'll do is I'll move it over here so you guys can see. My apologies. So it is higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. Stochastic, you do see it at 55, so rather neutral, so not considered overbought nor oversold. You do see a nice bullish deviation though, and number of retail investors were getting in. So on a technical level, Lucid is looking a-okay, and I've been saying this. As long as it needed like 2 consecutive trading days above that 50-day moving average, this is where you will see most likely a retest of that $4 range. Probably, assuming data comes out tomorrow good, maybe even tomorrow, if not on Friday. So yeah, big things are coming for Lucid. So I think big money right now is scouring the market for value plays, and Lucid, in my opinion, does kind of meet that criteria. So give yourself a shout out. Did you buy? Did you sell? What did you do with Lucid today? And what is your thoughts, for instance, on shorts returning? Actually, they're returning a little bit more after hours now. So it just went from 3.7 to now 3.83 million shares being returned. What's your thoughts on that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And if you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships. I just launched them for this channel. I have them in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.